Okay, so today I want to show you guys how to build a system that does something like this. So you can see I sent it here image on Telegram. I said this is a phone stand, it weighs 5 grams, made of stainless steel, has different settings for the incline, and is very durable. And you can see it sent me a Google Drive link, right? This is a Google Drive link, so if I click on that, it opens up this Google Drive here, which is add destination. And we have 5 different ad creatives which are for this. We have the secret to a tidy desk, limited stock, 37 left, last chance, 10,000 customers love it, best stand I've ever used, effortless viewing anytime, stainless steel secure, drip adjustable settings, all that. Another example I sent it is more of a service-based thing. I said I have an N8N flow, it's a content engine. I want 3 ads, and immediately we get these kind of ads like this one here. It says manually searching YouTube trends, stop wasting hours. We have this one here, find YouTube's untapped gold, what's hiding in the niche of your comments. And another one here. So basically, you can pick whatever kind of variations you wanted to make, but you just simply send it here. You type in how many ads you want. I want 3 ads. You could say I want 100 ads, and then when they're ready, it sends you a link and you have the ads. So today we're going to go over how to build a system like this. It's very, very simple. It's very easy. We can do it within like 20 minutes, and we'll do it all in N8N. Okay, here we are in Telegram. So I'm going to show you guys how to go through it from start to finish complete. Cool. So I've already gone over how to set up Telegram trigger and how to do the credentials. So insert that clip right now, and if you want to watch it after, there's a link in the description as well. But here's how you set up the credentials. Okay, now that you have your credentials set up, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to on message, pick the credential that we're gonna be using. I'm gonna be using this one by my agent 1, and so we're gonna send it an image. Right, we're gonna send it an image and a text. So for another example, I'm gonna just use this image here, and I'm gonna say this is an N8N. Do I have another one? Because this is like literally for this flow. Okay, anyways, this is an N8N workflow that takes a Telegram message with a product photo. I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter what you type here, because it's going to be an AI that's going to analyze it. So you can see I've misspelled product photo, product description, and a number of ads. The system will generate those number of Facebook ads with headline, body, CTA, pain point, etc, and log it all. I want 3 ads for this. Okay, so I'm gonna send this off, and now if I go here and I execute this workflow, you can see it's come through. This is an N8N workflow that takes Telegram message, and you can see we have photo 3, photo 2, and photo 1. Okay, cool. Now there's an important part of this that I want to mention right now, which is about using the correct photo. So the next thing here we're going to go to is we're going to go to Telegram, and we're going to do get a file. So go to get a file, select the same credential, and here's the part that I want you to pay attention to. Because it's compressed the image, if I do this one and I execute this step, very small, yeah, that's tiny. And if I change this to number 2 and I execute this step and I view it, a little bit bigger. But if I pick number 3 and I execute this step, this is the actual image I sent. So we're gonna go for that one. I'm gonna click on this and press P to just pin the image. Cool. Now we're gonna go to Google Drive. Now on Google Drive I already have a file here called source ad, right? This one right here. So I'm gonna show you, I have source ad here. Let me just open it in this one. So here we have source ad, which is where all the sources of the ads go. And then here we have ad destination, which is where the actual ads get populated. So for source ad, I'm gonna take this file, I'm gonna copy the ID of it. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go to Google Drive, I'm gonna go to upload file. File name, I'm actually just going to name it the caption. just because this makes the most sense, so we know what image it is about. Okay, and we're gonna upload the binary file, and from list I'm gonna go to by ID, and that's where I'm gonna paste in the ID of the folder. So now if I execute this entire step and I come to source add, we should see it give us, there it is, this is an N8N workflow. So that's the new source add, the one that we sent from Telegram directly, right? Ends up there. So I can pin this, and now the next thing, this is a bit redundant, I know, but we have to do this bit because we want to do an image analysis now. So we're going to go to download file, and just to make sure that it's the same file, we're going to use the upload file ID as the download file. So if I execute this step, you see the file name is this, which is exactly what it was, the query we sent. So if I press view, it's this thing. All right, perfect. Now if you open Gemini, there's an analyze an image. Now analyze an image is a great model, especially if we use 2.5 Pro, because it does a very deep analysis. So I'm going to say here extreme detail, but focused on the main attraction. All right, like that. So extreme detail, but focused on the main attraction, and change this to binary. Okay, so I'm going to execute this step now, which is going to do a full analysis of the image. Okay, hold on, let me just switch API keys right there. Run the flow, it's going to run now, no problem. Okay, anyways, while it's running, we can set up the next part of this, which is going to be OpenAI. So go to OpenAI and do message a model. And here we don't need a big model for this because we're just going to basically fix the product description a little bit, right? So because it's a little bit messy because it's a human being that writes it, you know, it's a little bit messy. We don't need to be like that in the ad. So pick 4.0 mini. And as you can see, the image analysis is done. So if I look at it, based on the provided image, the main attraction is a detailed multi-step automation workflow displayed with a dark theme web application in N8N. Okay, so we have a very good, clear description of what this is, right? Perfect. Now here we're gonna write we're gonna write a user prompt, and I'm gonna show you what it's gonna be, which is in the description, so you can just paste it in. But go to expression, and you're gonna write this, right? This is a user query. Your job is to pull out this is actually going to be, you will receive a user query. You will get a user query. Your job is to pull out the product or service description and the number of ads requested. If the product description is messy or lacking clear market fit, feel free to improve this. If this is not ad copy, it is simply a product description. You must output structured JSON with 2 objects. The first object is a string and will be the product description, and the second object is an integer and will be the number of ads. And then we gave it in open Telegram trigger, look for this caption, and just drop the caption in there. Okay, and it's going to end up like that. Now go down here to add option and we're looking for output format. So go to output format and then use JSON schema. You can leave it as medium and leave it as my schema. It's going to give you this by default. You're going to have this when you put JSON. It's going to automatically, this will be pasted in for you by N8N. And all we're going to do is we're going to change the names of these things. So instead of message, you're going to write product description, and instead of it going directly to additional properties as false, we're going to have a second thing, right? So product description, and then we're going to have number of ads, because that was the other thing that we asked the model to give us, right? And now if I go here and I put type, I'm going to put integer, so integer. Okay, and now put this and put a comma. No, we're going to comma there actually. Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. So you end up with this, and now we need to change this because the required things now, we're requiring product description and we're requiring number of ads. So this is what your JSON schema should look like, and again, it's all going to be in the description, so if you don't want to write it all out, you can just go grab it and paste it in. Okay. Perfect. This execution is not gonna, you see, it's just gonna be fast because it's only outputting these two things. Number of ads is 3, and we have product description. Perfect. All right. Anyways, then the next thing we're gonna need is an LLM chain. So if we go here, you're gonna put LLM chain, right? Basic LLM chain, and do this as defined below. And what this part is gonna be the actual figuring out what the ad is gonna be. Okay, so for the user message here, go to expression, and we're gonna pass it the 3 things that it needs. So we're gonna pass it the product description, which if you look at now has been altered by AI, an automated editing workflow that does this versus what I sent it, which was something that was very crap. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. So we have that, we have the product description. Next thing we need is the image description. So we'll go here and we'll give it the image description. By the way, don't worry about this because the actual ad is gonna see the image, not gonna have the description. It's gonna see the image. So here we'll give it the image description. And here we'll say number of ads. And that part is also gonna be from this one, I believe. Here it is, number of ads, right there, 3, okay? So what do we want this one to do? What's the point? We're gonna create a system prompt which is gonna explain to it what its job is. Now this is a very long one, so just grab it from the description and paste it in. Don't worry too much about it. Let me make it an expression so it's easier to read. You will receive an image description, a product description, and a number of ads. Your job is to create the number of ad variations of the product or service. The image description is for you to understand what the current product or service image is. This will be given to an editor where your edits will be applied. Aim for medium verbosity but high information density when describing edits that need to be made to the image. When creating ads, consider the following: angles and hooks. Okay, so we'll put a hashtag here and we'll put 2 hashtags here. Angles and hooks, consider format variations. All right, and then here we have some good examples that you can use. So here's where you probably swap out examples for your own ad examples, right? So that you could actually use that. All right, cool. So I'm gonna put here role. Perfect. So this is the entire system prompt of this one, and then the next one will be regarding the actual output of the model because we want it to output proper JSON. So to do that, all you're gonna do is open this up in full screen. And we're going to paste in that your output must be JSON, the schema is flat, the root is pattern properties, do not wrap your output in an output object. You need to say this because the model tends to wrap everything in another output like tag. Okay, so here go to require specific output format and just turn that on. Now the model here, we're going to use OpenAI chat model. You can use 4.1 mini. That's a great model to use. That was the one we've been using so far. We can go ahead and we can test out a Gemini, a different model. Like we can use maybe 2.5 Pro. We can use 2.5 Pro. Where is it? That's 3, 2.5 Pro. Switch this to my main account. We can use 2.5 Pro. It doesn't really matter really. You can use different kind of models. Anyways, here, go to structured output parser. This one I'm not going to type in now because it's going to take me very long, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's already in the description for you to get it yourself. So you can just copy it and paste it in. As you can see, it's decently long, so I don't want to have to type all of that out. Now, if I run this whole thing, system message should be the first one. We have a user message here, and then we have system below it. Ideally, that would not be the case. We would not have this one, and this system message would be this message here. But anyways, it's okay. We don't need to worry about it really. Model output does not fit the required format. So if we look at this, the output, as you see, it's wrapped it in output. Okay, I'm going to show you how we fix this right now. And this is a very useful skill to learn because you'll deal with JSON a lot when using an event. So here's the fix. Okay, here's the fix. You go here, you turn off use response API, add option, go to response format, and put this to JSON. Okay, now if I execute this workflow, and the funny thing is, like, I think I spent probably a whole hour just figuring out how to get this node to actually look at that, how to output proper JSON, but it consistently seems to fail. So it's still wrapping it in output. All right, here's what we're gonna say. Your output must be in JSON. And now we're gonna actually paste the real JSON. So if you go look at what this thing said, if using this, you must include the word JSON in the prompt in your chain or agent. Also make sure to select latest models released post November 2023. Well, we're using 4.1 mini, which is a decently powerful model. We could try switch to 4.1 itself and see if that makes a difference. And at the same time, let's go ahead and talk about what it's gonna have, which is gonna have output. You know what I'll do, right, is we'll grab an example output just for it to understand what it needs to do. Okay, so I'll go here and I'm gonna put here example output. Okay, we'll say your output must be structured JSON, for example, and I'm gonna paste in a quick example right there. And in here again, I'm gonna put here I'm gonna say output format structured JSON. Okay, I wonder if all those changes now we might manage to pull this off. This is one of the reasons I just prefer Gemini, because Gemini doesn't ever, like, I've never struggled to get Gemini to follow. I've never struggled to get Gemini to follow. What exactly is the problem? Like, what are you doing? What is it, bruv? Why is it given type? Alright, I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna open Gemini and I'm gonna say, what's the difference? Alright, I'm gonna say model output. I'm gonna say JSON schema. So this is the JSON schema. And this is the model output. Okay, JSON. I'm gonna grab this all. And now I'm gonna say, what is the mismatch? And put it to pro. After, I don't know how long it's been, I've been trying to fix it. I finally fixed it. So what you do is, we have example output here as a system message. We have example output here as a system message. And then you have your output must be structured JSON. And what this is just like a template kind of thing. Okay? And in the model, we turn back on the use responses API and switch GPT 4.1. The structured output parser should just remain exactly as it was. Finally. Okay, cool. Anyways, now what we need to do is split this. So we'll put a split out node here. We're gonna split output. So execute this step will give us 3 different things: pain point, benefit driven, stat driven. Okay, we have these 3 different things here. And then here we're going to put a loop. Batch size is 1. And now here's where we actually do the actual ad creation. So delete this, and here we'll open a Google Drive node and look for download file. So we'll download a file. Which file are we downloading? The same file that we uploaded. Drag that in there, execute this step. This gives us the initial advertisement. Okay, cool. Next node, OpenAI node. Look for edit an image, click on that. Well, the prompt is gonna be in loop over items, the image edit, right? The image edit prompt. So we're gonna do it two different ways. We're gonna tell it first that, let's make an expression. Edits to apply are the image edits, and the headline to add is the headline, right? So that's the prompt it's gonna get. Binary field, the data name is fine, leave that the way it is. The size is 1024 by 1024, that's okay. Leave this as auto. Output format PNG is perfectly fine. I think the only thing that we want to do is perhaps maybe the size, you know, let's like make it, let's go for a portrait, because that's like this, you know. So that way we can probably see, I don't know if this will work because we're not going to use DALL-E, we're using GPT Image 1, right? If we use DALL-E, that'd probably be better. But I think for some of the DALL-E features you need to be verified. So there's really no point in us whatevering with that. Okay, and then you're going to go to another Drive node here and look for upload file. So what file are we uploading? Well, we're gonna upload whatever comes out of that node, which is gonna be data. And the file name, if you go to loop over items, we're just gonna call it the headline. So the headline, whatever the headline is, that will be the thing. And my add destination drive ID will go here. So go to by ID and put that in over there. Okay, once that's done, we'll have it run back in and continue on the next one. And here we'll have another Telegram trigger. We're gonna have it send a message to this using the initial chat ID credential, which is this one. And we're gonna say here, your ads are ready at this link, and we're gonna put the destination folder link right there. All right, awesome. So if I execute this flow now, it's gonna go through, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna move this here and move this here so you guys can see what's happening here. Is the last bit. I said this is an N8N workflow that has Telegram, whatever. We've sent over the message. It's gonna go ahead and do all the actual image editing. So this is the part that I want you to pay attention to, because this is the part that actually, we're no longer even depending on the image description that the Gemini node did, right? This edit an image gets to actually see the image, right? We're using a GPT vision, it can see. Makes a huge difference, right? It makes it way better. So we'll let that run, and sooner than later, we'll let that run, and soon we'll get a text message here saying that it's done. So as you can see, it's finished one item. It's now looping through number 2. So it'll finish number 2, and then it'll do number 3. The reason we have 3 items is because we specified I want 3 ads for this. If you said I want 1,000 ads or 100 ads or whatever, you would get it. Now, on a bit of a side note, what we'll do after this workflow is complete is we'll go ahead and make sure that this, because the image gen model might hit an API rate limit. We don't want that, and we also don't want this to hit a rate limit either, which means that what we're actually going to have to do is set an on-error flow for this to use a Gemini 2.5 Pro model to do the editing images, so that we don't have to cancel the workflow on errors. And here as well, we're going to set up a fallback model using another OpenAI chat model, or probably Claude. That would work as well. Okay, it's on number 3 now, and it should send a text message any minute. You can forward this a little bit. I'm probably just gonna cut all this out. Okay, perfect. And as you can see, we got 3 messages, and the reason we got 3 messages is because it sent 3 items. So before we look at those, let's go ahead and move this here. Add, press a plus here, type limit, and just keep it at 1. It doesn't really matter what it's at because we just want it to send a message once. We don't want it to send a message all 3 times. So now that it's on 1, it'll only send 1 link. Anyways, see if I will delete these, and if I run it again, we get a message saying that it's done. Cool. So I click this. This will take us to the Google Drive where we have 3 ads. We have 10x your ad output automatically. Now you can see it's not the whole thing because we chose it to do portrait, but you can obviously, if you send it a landscape image and force it into portrait, so a bit of a different issue there. But anyways, look at this. Telegram in, Facebook ads out. Get Facebook ready ads in seconds straight from Telegram. And here we have lost in Telegram, let automation sell for you, struggling to turn Telegram product drops into real sales. These are pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, that's the whole flow. Hope you like it, set it up. You wanna customize it or personalize it. The way you're gonna do that is by going into here and editing these things, right? Edit these things. The last thing we would do is log it all in a Google Sheet, which you can go ahead and do that if you want. What I want to do is set up a bit of a fail-safe, right? Just in case of anything. So here's what you'll do is, let me unpin this. We'll just clear the execution data. Go in here and then go to on error and put pass item to an extra error output, which is going to be here. And on this one, go to Google Gemini and go to edit an image. Okay, well actually first we're gonna have to download an image. So first we'll do drive, download file, and the file we're downloading is the one that we uploaded here. Same one as this, download it there, pass this to edit an image. We'll go with 2.5 flash image. It's gonna get the binary data and it's gonna get the same prompt as this one here. Copy this, put it here, expression, paste that in, and then after that I will go there. So this way, just in case the OpenAI image editing node errors out, it's not going to cancel the workflow and we'll just switch to using Gemini. And the same thing here, we're going to say enable fallback model, and we'll go ahead and connect a Gemini model here. Sorry, we'll use an OpenAI model because we can't use Gemini right now. I would really recommend you use a Claude model though. So if this one's running 4.1 mini, we'll have this one just use 4.1 itself as our fallback model in case anything goes wrong. So yeah, that's that. Hope you liked it, and see you in the next one.